Wow, it means a lot of things. I think, yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, meditation has played a huge part in this as well, and I know I'll go into this later. But I've learned so much about myself through painting, and it always surprises me. Like I do, in a sense, I like feel a kinship to the surrealists because I do think like our unconscious mind comes through in painting completely, and like there are times I'll make a painting and I don't even feel like it's my painting. I feel like I was like the medium in which the painting was able to arise.
Hi, and welcome to Zenmind podcast. I'm Karuna Priya here, and together with my colleagues, we talk about the benefits of mindfulness, meditation, and compassion benefiting mental health. I ask my guest speakers to share their journey, challenges, and opportunities, and give their 3 top tips on well-being and resilience. Enjoy.
Hello.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much for having me on.
You're welcome.
So I'm originally from Albany, New York, which is in upstate New York. So it's a few hours north of New York City. And I grew up in kind of more of a suburban landscape. But I've always been really fascinated by like overgrown plants and kind of abandoned buildings and fields and parking lots and places where nature would kind of break through, the cracks in the sidewalk, or where they really had this sense of like agency and reclamation. When I got to Hamilton, I became really interested in how women specifically have been depicted with nature. So, for instance, I remember growing up seeing those pre-Raphaelite paintings like Ophelia, floating in the river. And for me, it was sort of confusing because I think for me, again, nature is this thing that has so much agency and life. And when I saw these images of these women with nature, for me, they became these sort of dead, kind of lifeless objects, which is not what nature or women, represent for me. So I think a lot of my practice and my own personal journey has been to like reclaim this kind of agency that I feel with nature, and really, again, give both nature and women this like physicality and sexuality and life and these characteristics that I felt like history of painting kind of took away from them.
Can I ask you about, in your painting, you have a very unique kind of perspective, which you try to portray women and nature. And they can be very personal. And in a way, you're putting yourself out there. And there is this sense of vulnerability as well, sensitivity and so on. How do you feel about yourself doing that? How do you, what was your experience like?
It varies. So when I was an undergrad, I was doing a lot of nude self-portraiture, and that was a lot more vulnerable for me. But it was also, I don't know, it was also like really healing. And I think it was nice to feel in control of how I was being portrayed, because it wasn't like someone was taking a photo of me or something and putting it online and I couldn't do anything about it. Like I spent, hours sort of in front of a mirror painting myself, and then put these, paintings up in an exhibition, and kind of that was that, and whatever people wanted to think. Kind of moved away though from doing the self-portraits because I think like what I was trying to capture, like this sense of reclamation and agency and physicality and growth and sexuality, like all these things, I now find all of that in painting flowers. And I think for me, like the flowers in a way are my body.
Sure. So, I mean, you're addressing something really important and something that I think we all can relate to, identity, orientation, and, gender and so on.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and it's funny thinking about it alongside my paintings, because like I'm queer, and I've always, I mean, it's complicated. Like in undergrad, that's kind of when I was sort of figuring out who I was and how I wanted to identify. And I think that's probably why I was making self-portraits, because I think there was like something there I was trying to better understand. Yeah, I want to celebrate it. Yeah, I just think it's amazing. I think humans are amazing. And I think we should be celebrating diversity and how like complex we are. And I think we should like allow ourselves to live in this sort of space that's also changing. I went from identifying as straight to bisexual to being a lesbian to now just sort of being queer to just being me, like
Oh.
it's been a journey, but I think like all of that's really beautiful. And I think we need to like be able to stay open and kind of give a space and celebrate. I think a lot of the problems for me kind of stem with like women needing to be something, right? Like for so long, it was like either we were like the Virgin Mary or we were like the femme fatale, I feel like a lot of times women are just forced to exist in a box, like whatever that box is. And then if we stand up for ourselves, then we become, bossy or arrogant. I don't know, like I think for me, what I would love to see is just this continual breaking down the box. Like just, I want to see like women be able to be both, beautiful and however they want to be beautiful, but also intelligent, and like, I don't know, I think for me, the issue comes down to how society like limits the way that we can be perceived. It's funny, I'm thinking about, Billie Eilish, the singer, like she just was featured on the cover of Vogue in this like amazing kind of corset and this like, and basically her underwear with like blonde hair. And she got so much ridicule for it because she used to be, wearing oversized t-shirts and like, she was put basically in a box. And then she decided she wanted to express a different part of herself. And now suddenly everyone's like, no, you can't do that because this is how we pictured you.
Yes, yes.
And that breaks my heart. Like I want to see everyone, not just women, but I would love to see everyone feel like they can, explore the multiplicities that they are,
We're so quick to judge and dismiss, I guess, anything other than what we are conditioned to believe.
And it's hard as like personally as well, because I feel like growing up, I kept feeling like I needed to fit in a box, like I was like, who am I? Am I, this type of person? Or am I like the activist? Am I the artist? Am I the, like, who am I, and I still have a bit of that, I think sometimes. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something.
I think it's an existential thing, isn't it? Like, who am I, right?
Exactly.
I think we all struggle with that.
Yeah.
So tell me about, how did you first come in contact with meditation? What's your journey into meditation?
No, I when I was at undergrad, I met a friend who's from Ecuador, who basically introduced me to meditation. But she actually did it through, she lent me this book by David Lynch called Catching the Big Fish. I don't know if you've read this, but David Lynch, is a famous, film director, cinematographer, artist, and he's really into meditation, and he talks about how meditation helped his creative practice in this book. I highly recommend anyone who has a creative practice and is interested in meditation, like, needs to read this book, because it just really went into like how meditation kind of helped him pursue what he wanted to pursue. And so, yeah, I kind of read this book and then I was like, okay, I want to get into meditation. So me and my friends started meditating in the meditation room at my university. But yeah, we would meditate together every day. And I swear, like, I didn't feel anything and like nothing happened for like 6 months. Like there was like 6 months of meditating every day where I was like, I'm still doing this and I don't feel anything.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I did, and it was amazing. Like I got to a place where and it was really intense for like a little while, you know, like I really suddenly felt like, I remember this one meditation, I came out of it and I felt like I could like see the atoms that like made up the books, you know, on
Really?
the bookshelf. Like not, no, not like quite literally, but it just felt like everything, like suddenly everything, like my awareness, you know, just had felt like it
Increase.
expanded, you know, where I would normally have such tunnel vision and be in my head and not see what's around me. Suddenly I could see the like flecks of light, you know, hitting the grass and all these things. And yeah, and so then and it hugely improved my practice. Like I was making more connections in my work and becoming aware of like the things that I was looking at and how it was working in the paintings. And that was great. And then, you know, I ended up, as one does, kind of not meditating as much and went through a period of, but honestly, it was like a bit of a period of a depression. And it was yoga and meditation that kind of helped bring me back out of it. But I struggled basically until I started meditating with you and Natima. The way that meditation kind of enriches your experience and helps you not just see something as that thing, as an object, but like part of this whole, you know, cosm, or, you know,
Yeah.
putting it. There was a mantra I've been using a lot recently, which is move towards love rather than away from fear. Because I think there's a lot of times we get scared or react to something and we want to like escape it, you know, like, oh, I want to stop being tired. I want to be better. And that's actually worse. Like it's better to move towards a place of love, which is like, yeah, okay, I'm tired. And you know, and yeah, maybe I'll make some tea and like we'll just, you know, ride this out and like, yeah, and I'm just gonna keep going and it's gonna be okay. And I don't know, I just, for me, like it might take you to the same place, but it's like how you get there that it changes, you know,
Yeah. And
whether
also, I think there is a lot of misconception about meditation, how, you know, like you got to uh, stop your thinking, you have to be in a mountain or in the beach, you have to
yeah,
close your eyes and not move your body and so on, right? I think, you know, meditation is when wherever you are, you know, you may be making a cup of tea or going for a walk or, you know, observing the nature or flowers or something. And, you know, you are there and being present, being aware, connecting to that, that's meditation. That's real meditation.
no, definitely. But for me, that's like the real meditation too. Like if anything, it's like the kind of formal meditation practice is just a way to remind yourself to be present throughout the day. Like, yeah, being present in nature and painting and things like this help me kind of help ground myself, you know? It's kind of when I stopped doing those things, like meditating and painting and like being outside. And I don't know, if I get caught up in the other things in life, then I start to lose that sense of being present.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So um, this kind of brings us to also your best top tips for well-being and health. You know, how do you integrate your work and meditation? And if there are 3 tips that you can give it to our audience, that will be fantastic.
Yeah, great. It's funny because when you first asked me this, like the first 3 that came to mind were like, okay, sleep, meditation, exercise. And I was like, no, it's too easy. I have 3 other ones that I think are kind of more like personal to me. So the first one would be to play. I think this is really
In what
important.
way?
Play, like to be playful. Like I
Okay.
think like being curious, I think having the sense of like, it's like a childlike curiosity. It's something that like I can go a long time kind of forgetting. And I think it's really important to like, I don't know, yeah, maintain this, like not be so serious, you know, like I think sometimes life can be really serious and we need to have this sense like playfulness, nature. The other one was to rest deeply. I think this is also something I've become more aware of because I think sometimes you know, we'll say, okay, well, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna rest, but like we don't rest deeply. Like, and I think this varies for everyone. Like sometimes for me, it's like really indulging in like an hour-long nap in the sun, you know, in a park somewhere. And that for me is like, I feel like I'm really giving myself that space and time to just rest.
Deeply, I like the word that you use, deeply relaxing. I mean, I heard people say, oh, relax, wind down.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I'm saying, okay, you're not just relaxing, but you have to do deep relaxation, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
reach
exactly.
that.
Yeah, that's been really important for me. And then, so is it play, rest deeply, and then my last one was to fall in love, and I don't mean that in like a romantic, you know, personal sense, although that you can, but I kind of just mean that in whatever it is, like whether it's your practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's, I don't know, the project you're working on or the meal that you're making. Like, I just think allowing yourselves to kind of fall in love with whatever it is you're doing or whoever it is you're with is just a really amazing, beautiful thing. Like, just to, I don't know, to like immerse yourself in it, to appreciate it, to like find beauty in it, you know, to like really like embrace all your senses.
Yeah.
Kind
Because
of
when you fall in love with your work, then you're not judging yourself like,
Yeah.
oh, I have to get this right, or why is it not like this? Why am I not like that? But I think if you approach it with compassion and kindness and friendliness, then you're more likely to spend time doing it and being more productive. Yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So play,
Play,
second,
rest deeply,
rest deeply, not just resting, but deeply, and then
fall in love.
fall in love. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. That's so good. So good. I'm gonna try that. And how would people reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram, Kate Bickmore. They can look me up, or yeah, it's probably the best way to reach me. And then
And you have a website as well.
Yeah, I have a website as well with my email and things like this. But yeah, either of those.
Cool. All right. Thank you. If you like listening to our podcasts and our interviews with leading experts, please subscribe to our channel and continue to receive updates.